Righto, Year 9. I'm about to go over compound interest. So, it's particularly for the kids who weren't there or some people who mightn't have been able to get the work that we did today. Now, the work that we did today is here on our classroom, and we did exercise 1L. We didn't do question 1, we did a different question, we made it up, and then we did 4, 6, and 7. So I'm going to go over those really quickly. And the first thing I need to do is establish the formula for compound interest. So remember we did simple interest. Remember simple interest equals the principal times the interest rate times the number. Now the difference with compound interest is that you're calculating interest upon interest. So I'm going to do the example question that we did today in class, which was $5,000. I can't remember the percentage. Let's say it's 7%. And we're going for 3 years. Now, normally, you'd just go, well, the interest rate is 5,000, or the interest is 5,000 times 0.07 times 3. And I'm going to actually do that. So I'm pull my calculator up. 5,000 times 0.07 times 3. And what is that? 1,050. So 1,050. Now, what that is doing is that is adding the 7% each year. Well, what is that 7%? Well, if I get my calculator back and go backwards and just try and make that by 1, 350. So the interest rate that's in the first year is 350. The interest rate in the second year is 350. And the interest rate in the third year, the interest. And all that formula does, so the 1, the 2, and the 3, all that formula does is just adds those interests together. Now, let's think about what compound interest is. Now, compound interest is you're going to do that year by year. So then we'll just write compound interest. And this is how we calculate it. And this is what they're going to do in the table. So for the first year, well, it's 5,000. We just use the simple interest formula times 0.07, and it's only for 1 year, and we already know that that's 350. We just did it. But in the second year, we add it. So we get the compound interest in the second year equals, well, we've got to add that 5,000 to the 350, and we've got to go, times 0.07. Again, we don't need to do the times 1. So we'll get my calculator up, and this time it's 5,350. And all of a sudden you see that the interest rate has gone up. What was that? 374.5 or 50. So note this. That was the interest rate. The interest for the simple interest is just the same amount every year. But here it was 350 the first year, but it's gone up. There's an extra $24.50, and that $24.50 is the interest on the interest. It's the interest on this 350. What's going to happen in the third year? Well, in the third year, the compound interest will equal 5,000 plus 350 plus 374.5, and we'll times that by 0.07. And we'll get that. And if I get my calculator up, so I'll just, so my answer plus 5350, that equals that. That's what that is, times 0.07. So by the time the third year has come around, the interest is, let's just get that again, 472 cents, $400.72. And look how much it's gone up. It's gone up a whole $50. And that's because we're earning interest on the interest. Now, you can do that on your calculator again and again and again if you know what you're doing. So here we go. Watch this. If you do this, so what do we do? 5,000 times 0.05, but to find out 0.07, but to do that, to find out how much money's in there, I've got to add that 5,000 to it. So I'm going to plus 5,000. And there's my 5,350. Now, your calculator is intuitive because what it'll do is if you go, oh, my answer times 0.07 plus my answer, it gives me the second amount. See that's 5,724. And if I now just press equals, it'll keep doing the same thing. It'll keep doing that calculation. It knows that you want to do it again and again and again. So in the third year, that's what it is. Then in the fourth year, the fifth year, I'm just pressing the equals, the sixth year, the seventh year, the eighth year, the ninth year. So if your calculator can do it, surely we can get a formula for it. Now in class, I went through the formula. Here I'm not going to because I need to get to the questions that people were having trouble with. So here we go. I'm going to have a look and I'm going to do a question from 4, 5, 6, and then I'll do 7. So our compound interest formula is the amount that's in the bank. Remember, the amount that is in the bank is your original amount plus whatever interest. And to find it, we go the principal times 1 plus the interest rate to the power of n. So let's have a look at 4. I'm going to do 4a and I'm going to do 4c. So 4a, there it is, $4,000, 5%, 10 years. So how much am I going to have in the bank? Well, I've got $4,000. This is where, when we said in class, if you can write it as a decimal really quickly, it makes it so much easier. So it's 5%. So that's 1 plus 0.05. And how long is it for? 10 years. Now, if you can go straight to this, you are good. It makes it easier in your calculator. 1 plus 0.05 is just 1.05 and the 10. And you don't need your parentheses in. You'd get the same answer if you did it. So 4,000 times 1.05 to the power, use your power button there, saw 2 buttons above the 9, to the power of 10. And away you go. And there is your answer, 651558. 6515.58. Now that's how much money is in the bank or in the investment or wherever it is. To find out how much interest you've earned, you'd have to take this number and minus your principal. So this amount of money has earned $2,515.38. But that's a question that we'll deal with in a minute. Let's go to 4C. Now the reason I'm doing C is because there's a little bit of a thing here. So we've got $25,000 is my principal, 25,000 times, now let's see if we can do this really quickly, 11%. So it's 1.11. Now here's the interesting bit. It's in months. Now because we're dealing with a percentage in years, we've got to convert it to years. And you should be able to go, oh, well, there are 12 months in a year. So if I just do that, I'll get the years, and there's 3 years. So to the power of 3. So then I'll just pull up my calculator, 25,000 times 1.11 to the power of 3. And there you go, 34,190 and 78 cents. 34,190 and what did I say? 38 cents, 78 cents. Now, I'm just going to get my answers up on my other computer to make sure that we're getting these right because I don't want to be getting them wrong. And if I get the U9 textbook up. So, and it's exercise 1L, question 4C. And there we go. We're right. Now, question 5. Barry borrows 200,000 from the bank. How much does he have to pay back? That's the same. It's exactly the same. I'm not going to do it on the calculator, but I'm going to set it up for you. The amount he'll have to pay back is, what did he borrow? 200,000 times, what's the interest rate? 8, 1.08 for how long? 5 years. Oh, look, let's do it. It's so quick. So 200,000 times 1.08 or 0.8 to the power of 5. So 293,865, 293,865, and how many cents was that? 62. And there we go. So question 6 is one of the ones that someone has asked about. Find the percentage increase. Now this is interesting. So I'm going to do 6A. Let's only do 2 of these. I think we only did 2 of these in class. So I'm going to do A and C. After I do A, stop the video, see if you can do C on your own. So find the total percentage increase in value of these amounts compounded annually at the given rates. Okay. So first of all, I have to find out how much it's gone up. So what's my amount that's in the bank? Well, I've got 1,000. It's 4%, so times 1.04, and it's for 5 years. Bang, calculator. 1,000 times 1.04 to the power of 5. 1216.65. 1216.65. That's how much is in the bank. Now, I have to find out the total percentage increase. Well, what's it gone up by? So the increase is what it is now, 1216.65, minus 1,000. Oops, that's a terrible zero. And that's 216.65. I'll just do it on my calculator so you know, minus 1,000, 216.65. But I need that as a percentage. Well, you've got to remember percentages are easy. So it's that's the increase, 216.65. What was it originally? Write it as a fraction. Originally it was $1,000. That's how much it's gone up. And to make something into percentage, times by 100. So now, if I take that answer there and I divide by 1,000 and I times by 100, 21.665. So 21.665, and the answer in the back of the book is 21.7%. Easy. You have a go at 6C. I'm going to do it so you can see how you go. So you pause the video and you're going to come back. What have I got? 125,000, 9%, 10 years. So I'll do it over here. 6B. Amount equals 125,000 9%, 10 years, times 1.09 to the power of 10. Bang, calculator. 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 3 times 1.09 to the power of 10. 259, 295,920. 295,920. 0.46. Remember, we're only going to the nearest cent. So the increase is that 295,920.46. What was it originally? 125,000. And I'll get my increase. So I just take that answer there and I just go minus 125,000. So it's increased by 170,920. 170,920. And how many cents was that? 46. Now, as a percentage, remember this is the easy part. As a percentage, that is 170,920.46. What was it originally? It was 125,000. And how do I make that a percentage? U times by 100. Now we've already got that 170,920 in my calculator. So if I pull it up and I just go that answer divided by 125,000 and I go times 100, bang. It's gone up 136%. Let's double check that with our answers and we're right, 136.7%. 136.7%. So that's how you do question 6. The last one we did in class was question 7. All right, so I'm just going to create a little bit of space here. And I'm going to get rid of that. And this. So here we go, question 7. Now, I've always found it's a really good thing. Read the question and write the information. After 5 years, so we've got 5 years, a loan grows to 45,200. Well, that's not your principal, that's the amount. So that's your A. What is it? 45,200. And the interest rate is 6% per annum. Well, look here. We've got the interest rate. We've got the 5 years. We've got the amount. The thing we don't know is the P. But it's okay because we're pretty good at algebra and we can write an equation. So A equals the principal 1 plus R to the n. Well, we already know the A. That's 45200. The principal we don't know. We know we can write 1 plus R times 1 point. What's the interest rate? 6%? 0.6. And for how long? To the 5. Now here's where you've got to be smart. That is just a number. I'm going to prove it to you. So I get my calculator up. 1.06 to the power of 5. And that's what it is. But I don't want to write that decimal out. It's too big and too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep that number in that form. So I know it's a number and I'm multiplying. Now to solve an equation, you do the inverse operation. So to move this or to get rid of it and get the P by itself, I have to do the inverse to the other side. So 45,200 and the inverse of multiplying is to divide by 1.06 to the power of 5 and that will give me my P. So you go 45,200 divided by 1.06 to the power of 5. Bang. There's our answer. 33,733. Get it back. 33776. 776.07. We're going to the nearest cent. That's the principle. So just check. Make sure the answer is right. Question 7. And yes, we are. They go to the nearest dollar. So that's what we did in class today. You go and have a go at some other ones. Make sure you can do that question 7. That's an equation. Did we do any other questions? No, we didn't get up to depreciation. We're going to do that in class next lesson, so don't stress about that. Good luck.